world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. Welcome, everybody, to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 246.
That's us?
Hell yeah. We are here every week talking about the week's DC releases, and this week is no different. Joining me, as always, is Josh.
Sorry about that.
Well, Brandon is not here this week. He's off being a busy little guy.
As always.
I hate calling people little guy. I feel like it's
Then why do you do it?
It just slips out.
Just slips out?
And then I
That's what
hate
she
it.
said.
Because, God damn it, Josh. I knew
For
that was
raising.
coming. As soon as that slipped out, I knew that was coming. Oh, God damn it.
That's what she said. I demand we bring back phrasing.
Do you not?
Do you not? Every
that ever stopped? I didn't think it left. I never stopped. Anyway.
Are we still doing phrasing? They even questioned it in our...
Alright, so we are here to talk about the week's DC releases. I already talked about that. The week's DC releases are as follows. We will be covering Supergirl. What the hell, Connor? Stand up straight.
Get shit together, Connor!
Fucking Connor Hawk, he's drunk. Yeah, we're covering
Don't
Supergirl.
roll on Shabala! Sorry. Alright, got my Lebowski out. We're all good now.
I have a feeling that's not the last Lebowski reference we're going to get this episode.
Who knows?
Right, so we are covering Supergirl number 1, Action Comics number 1086, Green Lantern Corps number 4, Batman and Robin number 21, and Aquaman number 5, with our honorable mentions being Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over number 2, DC vs. Vampires World War V number 9, and Batman Dark Patterns number 6.
I'm going to give a brief shout out to all of them. Last two, Dark Patterns is fucking phenomenal. World War V is great, and I haven't yet hit When Hell Freezes Over, but I mean, I'm sure it's going to be in the same vein as it was before.
I quite like the first issue. I'm interested to get into the second one, see what happens.
Yeah,
But
hopefully it
had a
pushes
chance
the
yet.
story and doesn't spin wheels. That's about the
Yeah.
only thing that can stop that issue from doing what it's set out to do, which is just be a fun comic book.
Exactly. Oh shit, I didn't realize I have Supergirl. All right.
That's what I said when you said, I'm like, he has whatever.
I mean, you could have said something. You could have taken Supergirl. I don't know. To be honest,
It's
I
all right.
thought I gave it to you when I took Action Comics, but apparently I put it the other way around.
Yep. Nope.
Whoops.
Hey, it happens to the best
Sorry,
of us.
bro.
What you gonna do? I
Yeah.
still read it. It's all good.
Yep, and from what I remember, you're excited to talk about it.
I'm excited to read it for sure.
Yeah. So, we're not going to talk about it yet. We got some stuff to talk about first. We got some news. Bleedingcool.com today posted that Marvel has announced a new Marvel All-in-One coming August 2025. This is being written by Ryan North with art from Ed McGuinness, and it's starring The Thing. At least the first issue will. Anyway, the story is titled The Thing versus the Marvel Universe. I will not get into the plot in case nobody wants to know spoilers. But that's the title of the issue, is The Thing versus Marvel Universe. So that can give you a basic idea of what to expect. It seems to be an ongoing. So
Oh,
Marvel All-in-One.
I was under
So
the
we'll have to
impression
see.
that it's a annual one shot.
Never mind. It's a one shot.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's
this
what
year's
I
one
thought.
shot Marvel All on One. Yeah.
Yep, all
Yeah,
on one. I think I put that in the Discord as
whoops.
well. I think that that is a really cool idea. Um, everybody loves the
It is.
Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe books that show up every once in a while, and supposedly that last one was the very last one. So this is kind of a different spin on that. Anybody could
Supposedly.
have their chance to go up against the whole Marvel universe. Once a year, you'll get a new character. This year's thing, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully
It is
next
pretty
year will
cool.
be
I
Kitty
agree.
Pride.
She could do it. I believe.
She could do it.
Yep. In other news this week, we had two comic book movie trailers. I
Calling
mean,
them
one's a
two.
TV show. We have our first trailer for Ironheart. I'm excited for that show. We're getting more Iron people, more suits. I'm excited. And Parker Robbins. I know he
Explain
was a low key
more
B list
Iron
villain,
people.
but also Ironheart is in a time when Marvel was kind of foregoing the whole sidekick, um, kind of doing sidekicks without being sidekicks to all their big time heroes. They had the Young Avengers,
Yeah,
and then they
like
were doing the
legacy
Champions.
spin-offs, kind of.
Yeah, but these were like the teenage heroes that were taking on the mantles. Like you had Miles Morales was Spider Man, you had Kamala Khan was Miss Marvel, you had fucking what was his name was Nova. Can't remember his name now. Sam something was Nova. Was the new Nova, and he was a team. They were all
Sam
the
Mendes.
champions. Was it Mendez? I don't think so.
No.
No. And then you had in a time when Tony Stark was quote unquote dead. Um, he wasn't really, but he was. It's really complicated. It was a weird time. Riri Williams was a teenager in, I want to say it was, oh shit. Was it Detroit or was it Chicago? Might have been Chicago.
I'm good
Um,
with either.
built a suit of armor in her mom's garage. It was really rough because it was all like scraps and spare parts, but she built her own suit of armor and she was like 14. And it worked. She just needed an AI to power it. Tony Stark knew about this for years, and after he died, um, post mortem had so like a package sent to her that he had planned in advance, and it was an AI of his personality. So he was her onboard AI while he was dead, and it
Oh
was
wow.
her going around adventuring, being literally trained by Iron Man, even though Iron Man was dead. It was actually really fucking cool. And then he came back to life, and they met for real, and they became good friends. And she still works with him from time to time. It's really nice to see. She, in fact, she even made an appearance in the current series. Um, but her going name is Ironheart. I can't remember why they settled on Ironheart, but I like the name. It's a nice little name. Yeah, that's it. She's a teenage genius, and she built her own suit of armor. And they're playing that in the MCU as well, pretty much the same style, but no Tony Stark AI as of yet. Not that we can see in the trailer, anyway. I really hope there is a Tony Stark AI, but we will have to see.
That
Um,
would be something.
that would be really fucking cool, I think. But yeah, so that's the gist of Ironheart. So that's what I mean by more Iron people. Supposedly, that's going to lead into the long in production Armor Wars series that's supposed to be centered around Rhodey, but
Yeah,
has
I
been
mean,
in development hell for like 5 years.
so you said Iron People. Now let me roll through here real quick. There's Iron Man, there's
Yeah,
Iron Heart, Iron
yeah,
Patriot, War Machine,
yeah.
and
There's quite a few more.
nope, that's it.
No, there's Ironmonger, there's Rescue, there's Crimson Dynamo.
Yeah, but all those are Iron Man spin-offs? Those are just like suited bad guys, right?
No, Rescue is actually Pepper Potts.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the suit of armor that Tony built Pepper. Um, Ironmonger and uh, was it Crimson? Did I say Crimson Comet?
No,
Is that
you
what
said Crimson
Crimson
something.
Dynamo. Crimson
Yeah,
Dynamo.
Dynamo.
Shit. It just blanked on the fucking name for a second. Those two were made in response to Iron Man. So even though they're not necessarily made by Iron Man, they're there because he existed. So it's kind of a
Doesn't count.
vis-a-vis kind of thing, right?
That's
Like
like
they
calling the
they
Mad
wouldn't
Hatter a
exist if
part of the
Iron Man.
Bat family.
Whatever. The Mad
You
Hatter
know,
doesn't exist because Batman existed.
well, I guess Joker
Yeah.
part of the Bat
Like
family.
the Crimson Dynamo was literally made by the Russian government because Iron Man existed. They wanted a counter to Iron Man. So if Iron Man didn't exist, they never would have made Crimson Dynamo.
Or that's just what they want you to believe.
Yeah, that's what Bucky told me. I don't know.
Bucky, that guy with the Soviet star on his arm.
Yeah, he was a
God
spy.
damn commies.
He was a spy. But
hmm
yeah, no. So that's the gist on Ironheart. Um, I'm excited. Excuse me for the show. I know Kirk's a big fan of Ironheart. Um, this from, I think anyway. I'm pretty sure.
I've always been Ironheart curious.
You should check it out. I will tell you. I will warn you. She was, if I remember right, created by Bendis. And the first stories were written by Bendis. And there is some Bendis dialogue involved, but it is
But
an enjoyable read.
have more people read her since then?
I be honest, I haven't kept up because it wasn't long after she debuted that I kind of just dropped Marvel for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't really know how many different series she had. She might even have a series right now. I gotta go check it out. I don't know for sure. I'm still catching up to everything Marvel, so
The
picking
reason
up
why I
bits
ask
here and
is,
there.
I mean, everybody remembers that I shit all over Bendis, but I shit all over Bendis as a writer.
Yeah.
As an idea guy,
Oh, he's
Bendis is
fantastic.
fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, he's got great creations, great ideas, great concepts. My problem is just his
Lousy
dialogue.
execution.
It's his dialogue is the problem.
Well,
Like
that I feel
his
like dialogue is just space filler because he doesn't know what to do with the writing.
well, that's the thing. Like, I don't mind most of his plots. I don't mind most of his story beats. But what really drags me down for anything he writes is the dialogue because there's a
The
lot
latter.
of nonsense dialogue. There's a lot of ladder talk, like you're showing. It's a lot of just talking about shit that's not on the panel,
Mm-hmm.
right? Talking about shit that has nothing to do with the story. I'm just like, come on, fucking get on with it. Like, it's maybe fine in a novel setting, like if you're reading an actual book, but not in a comic where you need to get to the fucking point. You have a limited page count, limited panel count. Don't waste time with excessive dialogue that doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Yeah, reading
You don't
Bendis
need
is
to
like
pad
trying to have a
pages.
conversation with the Goblin King from Labyrinth. It's gonna take a minute. That motherfucker don't shut up.
Yeah, but this is not a place right now to shit on Bendis again. Like, literally, like
Nope.
check out Ironheart. Yeah, give it a shot. Um, at least go read the first issue from I want to say it was 2015.
Okay.
Was it
2015.
Marvel Now? It was all new. All I don't remember what era it was called. It was a while ago.
Is that back when like Morales debuted?
Um, no, but Morales was around at the same time.
How long after Morales debuted?
A few years,
Hmm.
I want to say, because Morales debuted in the Ultimate Universe like well before anybody else,
Right.
right? And Bendis took the reins on Iron Man, I think, when he was done Ultimate Spider-Man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So approximately 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. I could be
Okay.
very wrong, though. I might be misremembering everything. Like I said, it was a while ago.
But all right, sir.
Yeah.
Fine
Right.
chap for offering that information.
Right. So that was we have Ironheart trailer came out. Check that out. The show
Aye.
premieres next month. Um, I know some people are kind of like tired on the MCU these days, especially with all the TV shows, hit or miss. But I think
Bullshit. I don't.
Ironheart
What
is
is wrong with these
going
people?
to be okay. Don't even start because you were one of them for a minute.
No, 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 no. Hey, Marvel movies blow. Okay,
That's
but I
I'm not even gonna get into that. But
loved
okay.
the just about every Marvel show. I have really enjoyed. I couldn't get into uh, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh really? I really like that
Yeah,
one.
and I thought that um, the Hawkeye series was good, but um, that the what's her face Haley Stanwyck was easily what made that show awesome.
Oh yeah. No, that
So
that
it could have.
was
I was saying that it was good, but it could have been better. The show could have matched her talent.
yeah.
Um,
I mean that show was built as a kind of passing of the torch kind of
yeah.
deal,
So it.
right?
So there's that, and I couldn't get into Falcon and Winter Soldier. But when you're talking about Moon Knight, She Hulk, uh, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, the new Daredevil. I mean, She Hulk. If I didn't say that already, I really enjoy the Marvel shows. Werewolf by Night,
Yeah.
all of that, all of those are good. It's the
Oh, and I
movies that suck.
I enjoy them too, and I enjoy most of the movies too. The problem is not necessarily the quality, but just the content, like how much there is. People are
Uh,
getting tired of Marvel just like spitting stuff out, and there have been some gripes about certain series. We all know a lot of the incels like to shit on She-Hulk because they don't understand women, um, and
because they don't understand She-Hulk.
yeah,
They'll never
that too,
understand women.
that
Hmm.
too, yeah. And a lot of people like to shit on Secret Invasion because that was so fucking bad. Did you watch Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
You did. Did you like Secret Invasion?
No.
Thank you. And
Nope.
this coming from a guy that 2 minutes ago said I like all Marvel TV shows,
I
and
forgot about Secret
omitted
Invasion. It
Secret Invasion for
was
a reason.
yeah, I completely slipped my mind, dude.
That's good. I'm sorry for bringing it up. I'm
Um,
sorry for reminding you.
Loki season one I didn't like. Loki season two I did like.
Interesting.
That's what like every time I say that to somebody is like, but it's supposed to be the other way around.
Well, no, because like to me, it was like the tone and the feel, the vibe was pretty much the same.
It was. There was just something I don't know. It felt like I was trying to be sold a story in the first season, and then the second one I was being told a story.
I could see that. Yeah, I get that. Because they were kind of just shoehorning Loki into a whole other thing, and then season two is just like, okay, we've already established this. Now we can have some fun with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that. I get that. That's fair. Uh, I don't know. I enjoy most of the movies.
Yes, you do.
I think Marvel just had to take a bit of a reflection period and find its stride again. I think right now it is finding its stride again. Because from what I understand, Thunderbolts is fantastic. And speaking of fantastic, Fantastic Four first step's coming out in a month and a half. And boy, am I fucking stoked. 2.5 months.
Neither here nor there. When is She-Hulk coming? There's got to be another season. I want another goddamn season of She-Hulk. When is the Jessica Jones coming? When is I don't think we're getting any more Luke Cage. I know they won't do more Iron Fist.
We don't know that for sure because Jessica Jones is coming in Daredevil season 2.
Yeah, she's coming back, but I mean, as far as having their shows brought
Oh
back,
yeah, their shows no, but like
yeah,
Luke Cage and Danny Rand might make an appearance too. later down
I
the
would
line,
be really
right?
surprised if Danny Rand did. As much as everybody hated on him for absolutely no fucking reason. Like, they made Iron Fist a whiny bitch. I'm like, dude, he was 9 years old, dropped off on a snowy mountain. You'd be a
Yeah,
little fucking, you'd have some separation anxiety too, you
yeah.
some bitch.
I didn't dislike the characterization. I didn't like the writing of that show.
I feel like I feel okay. So if Iron Fist would have picked a lane between drama, romance, and action drama, if it would have picked one or the other,
Hmm.
it could have been good in either vein. But I feel like it tried to bounce back and forth way too much. To it was equal parts ass kicking as it was to soap opera, and the soap opera is what really made people shit on it.
Yeah. It is a shame though, because I thought he did a really good job with the character.
I did too.
Yeah.
I thought it was perfect. I was waiting for the next season so I could watch this dude cut loose. Because now that he's centered and he became, you know, Iron Fist finally,
Hmm.
the shit was about to hit the fan for some bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was an
all you
interview with him
fucking
not too
neckbeards
long
and
ago.
dude bros ruined that for me. What?
There was an interview not too long ago after Daredevil was announced to come to Disney Plus, like the Born Again, like the new series, right?
Yeah.
And then now the topic was up in like, well, what about the other Netflix Marvel shows? Punisher's going to be in Daredevil, and Foggy and Karen and Kingpin and Matt, and it's all the same actors. So what about all the other characters, right? And now we know Kristen
Some have
Ritter's
bigger
coming back as
parts than
Jessica
others.
Jones. Finn Jones was talked to as well about Iron Fist. He said like, I was heartbroken that it wasn't well received and that it's um, didn't do well because I put a lot of effort into being Danny Rand. And like I don't have I keep in mind I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not reading it off a page. I'm kind of
Right.
remembering what he
Right.
said.
Right.
He said basically he's like I don't have like an actual martial arts background from what I remember, not to the same degree that some people do, but I did put a lot of work into the role and a lot of effort into it, and I think if I was given another chance and given more of a chance to shine, I could really prove myself to the character. So it's clear to me that he has the potential to it to really make the character shine.
Yeah. They had, and no one's going to convince me otherwise of this. They had a long term picture in mind. They were like, there's no chance that these shows don't get renewed for us for at least a second season, if not for three.
Ah, but then you remember it's
Guarantee you
on
that's
Netflix where they cancel shit left, right, and center.
well, yeah, and I mean, they should have thought of that. But
Yeah,
I feel as though season one was just nothing but character development to show you the kind of person that Iron Fist was going to be.
yeah,
And I feel like Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones were all the exact same thing. I'm like, well, maybe, just maybe, y'all just don't like Iron Fist. You ever think of that?
I remember when those shows came out because I was heavily on all the message boards at the time and like seeing all the behind the scenes stuff and theories and whatnot. Iron Fist was the last one of the original four to come out, and
Yep.
everybody when they heard about the showrunner, people were like, "This." I don't remember what else he did, but like this showrunner is god awful, right? And other stuff he'd done also failed. Like the guy that basically ran the writers' room is basically what killed the show. Same thing with the Flash and Arrow. It's the writers that took over the show over the years that you could see the quality and the storylines just drop drastically.
Yep.
And I say I will never knock any of the acting on those shows because the acting I think across the board was fantastic. I'll be honest, maybe I
It's-
wasn't in love with Patsy Walker's actress, but
Who's Patsy Walker's actress?
Hellcat. I don't remember the actress's name
Oh,
on Jessica Jones.
oh,
Yeah.
cool, cool, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Um. Yeah. We also had a Superman trailer.
we did. We
The
had the
last trailer.
first full release
Yeah.
trailer. Everything else up until this point has been a teaser, and this
Apparently.
is the last trailer that we're getting.
Yes. I figured this one was going to give us more of the plots, and it didn't. Like, I still don't exactly know what the story is going to be. And I think I appreciate that a lot because they're keeping that not necessarily under wraps, but they're giving you something to look forward to in the movie. But what we did get in this trailer is an idea of what Clark's personality is going to be. And I really appreciated that. Because that's what I'm looking for in these trailers. I'm not always just looking for like footage and oh, what am I going to see here? I'm looking for like what are these people going to be? What is this going to show? What is this going to give me? Right? First teaser
Hmm.
trailer, we got like a pan out shot of all the different characters we could look forward to, and that was cool. But this, we got to see some personality, and I loved it. I actually really like the personality.
I'm I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
They better do it right. I've got oh man, just so worried because it's a DC property. But I love everything James
Yeah.
Gunn has done, man.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
got
it's
full faith in him, and I can guarantee you, no matter what comes out of this Superman movie, it's gonna be better than the. And I mean this, unfortunately, it's gonna be better than the He-Man movie that comes out. And I am,
basing that on two pictures.
yeah, I'm basing that on casting.
You
That's what
know,
I'm basing that on.
one role. That's it. You know, one cast member, and you're like, this movie's gonna suck.
Okay, so a warrior princess is a person from Riverdale.
It's the same actress. It's not the character.
Yeah, but I can't remember what her thinking. Camila Mendez.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I know
Okay,
you don't
well,
like Camilla Mendez, but I just think that's a
yeah,
crazy take to think that the whole movie is going to suck because you don't like one actress.
she's one of the main characters. And if that's the case, if she is the kind of person that they were looking for in that, that means that the writing is done to match that kind of an actor, which spells nothing but disaster.
And not necessarily.
We'll see.
They could have done it the
Um,
other way around, like most movies do.
wouldn't that have been great if you would have wrote the part and then cast
Then
it
find the actor.
appropriately? That would be, oh my God, that would be amazing.
It could be
That would
what
be
they did.
amazing. They didn't. You
We'll
don't do
well,
that and end
we
up with
will
Camilla
have to
Mendez.
see. We will have to see. Josh has a vendetta against Camila Mendez. Add her name to the list, people.
Just everybody involved in Riverdale, every single person in Riverdale is talentless. Every single
That is
person, with the
not
exception,
true.
with it most certainly is, with the exception of two people,
Two people
and
who
two people only, and that is uh oh shit, what's her name? Madeline or
Petch,
uh
Madeline Petch,
Madeline Pesh,
Petch. Yeah.
and the dude that played Reggie.
Okay, he was good too. What about? Okay, this might be a stretch, but there was the '80s actors in there as well. Teen heartthrobs. I can't remember either of their fucking names either right now.
Oh, you're talking about like Skeet Ulrich and them?
Yeah,
No, they're
you
dog
don't like
shit.
it.
That's why they're in fucking Riverdale
I
now and
liked
they're
Skeet
50 years
Ulrich in
old.
Riverdale. I thought he was really good.
I mean, he played the same Skeet Ulrich character that he's always played, which is a greaser.
I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
but
he's
he
been
plays
playing
it
the
really
same
well.
exact. It's hard not to play that. I mean, slick
Yeah.
your hair back, be a dickhead. That's a greaser.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never been a huge fan of Luke Perry, but I like what he
Mm-mm.
did with Mr. Andrews in that show. Not gonna lie.
To
I
be
think he
honest with
didn't
you,
do
I
a
forgot
horrible
Luke Penn.
job.
I forgot Luke Perry died.
Yeah.
I mean, no, he didn't do a horrible job, I suppose, but like nobody is nominating Molly Ringwald for one of their top 25 talented actors of all time.
No, but
It's just
they might do it for top talented actors of the
nah.
80s. And I will say, and I don't remember, I want to say it was Cole, but the Sprouse brothers, I think, are really good actors. I've seen them
No.
in many different things
Oh my gosh.
across a wide range, and they both done a terrific job.
Yeah, but you are far too accepting of failure.
Oh my god. You were too harsh, good sir. But I digress. We're not even here to talk about He-Man. We were here to talk about
He-Man.
Superman
And others.
and others, yes. But I was specifically talking about the movie. But if we're done talking about the movie,
Oh, right. Yes.
yeah,
Well, there's others in Superman too.
yeah. But how much do you know about the movie so far?
Um, Superman bleeds. Crypto's cool. There's a kaiju, and there's the Justice League not named.
Great. Okay, so that's all I will talk about then. Excuse me. So there's a lot of wild and crazy fan theories going around about potential, excuse me, leaks and rumors.
You talking about like all the different details in the trailer and stuff. I'm not gonna be able to spit a list out to you.
Oh
but
no,
if you
not
mention
even
them,
just
then I
that.
can talk about
Just like stuff we've seen and stuff people have heard. But
stuff
I won't
we've
to
seen,
get into
stuff
that
we've heard.
because
Like what?
Well,
Like what?
okay, fine. There's a potential for an Ultraman character.
Why would Ultraman be in that? Oh yeah, no, there definitely is an Ultraman type
Yes.
character that's in the movie.
There's a character clad in all black and has a U on his chest.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Which
that I am aware of.
screams Ultraman, but he's wearing a full face mask, so we don't know what he looks like. If that's going to be a surprise, it's an Earth 3 version of you, Superman, or is it going to be a Bizarro, or is it going to be some random Kryptonian? Who fucking knows? But yeah, supposedly there's an
Ubermensch.
Ultraman. Yeah, could be. We did see some person in a metal suit that myself and Glenn both think is maybe an early prototype for the Lexo suit.
I think it might be Metallo.
I was on my mind too, but I feel like that would be too many villains. You know?
Lex in a power suit is a villain.
Yeah, but we already know Lex is there. I mean, like we have Lex, we have a kaiju, we have Ultraman, we have the Engineer, we have
Engineer's not necessarily going to be a bad guy.
I think she's already confirmed to be. I think she's
Doesn't necessarily
of the piece.
Really?
Yeah.
So no redemption arc at the
So,
end for the Engineer. That seems.
Oh, I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but I'm saying like Engineer is one of the villains of the piece is what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah, I believe that's going to probably change.
Yeah.
Engineer will turn good guy. I'll be surprised if not. But I think possibly Metallo, and I don't know really who else. I'm thinking like just Metropolis centered villains, and I can't think of anybody else that would fit that other than the power suit Lex. But like head to toe metal suit.
Yeah. But I mean,
who else would it be?
There's also a possibility of Brainiac and I don't remember the being's name from.
I thought Brainiac was going to be there for sure too.
That's what I'm hearing, but I don't know if it's confirmed. What was? Is it Solaris? The
Sun Eater? Or
yeah,
the sun
solar
person,
radiation eater from All Star Superman.
Yes.
Yeah. that being might be in the movie too. So like there's already so many freaking villains, and to throw Metallo in there too, I'm not against it. I just think that's a lot to fill in a Superman movie that also introduces four characters of the Justice League.
It could also explain how we've seen Superman bloody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and at some
Yeah.
point, somewhere along the way, he stops a war from brewing in another part of the world. So it's like
Because he's
this
motherfucking
movie
Superman,
is
dog.
going to be massive. I can't wait. I also trust in James Gunn.
I will
Um,
be attending it in the most deluxe version possible in the theater.
ooh,
With that is real 3D IMAX, whatever it is, I don't care. Whatever the coolest fucking option package that there is, that's the one that I'm getting.
the 4D Ultra AVX, the one with the moving seats and the air blows in your face.
4D. I love that shit at Ripley's, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Um,
that's there's some movie theaters that actually have that now.
oh, get out of here for real.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, not down here, not where I am.
Shit, really?
Like,
I could have sworn.
yeah, no, it's a fancy movie theater if it's got comfy chairs and
Oh yeah.
you can buy beer.
Oh,
That's fancy.
there's a couple of movie theaters in the Greater Toronto area that have recliners.
Yeah, fun times.
Yeah. In fact, I want to go to one because I haven't been to that one yet.
Uh, uh,
There's one that's got a bar in the theater. This is fucking wild. But yeah, that's
nice.
you got to come to Toronto sometime, dude. You got to move here. I know you don't like the cold, but
I hate the
fuck,
cold.
life is fun.
Tell you what, man,
That's why heaters were invented.
send me 40 grand and I'll meet you halfway. I'll come halfway up. I'll move to Illinois.
If I'm sending you 40 grand, you're moving to fucking Canada.
No, there's not enough money to move to Canada. Just enough
um,
money to put on a small house.
yeah, actually, in Canada, that's not enough for anything. But I digress. That's about all the movie news we have. I very quickly want to give Josh a little quiz I wrote today.
Uh-oh.
8 questions.
I'm gonna flunk.
No, no. Oh, just you wait. It's
I don't know any of these answers already.
we can call this the lightning round because they're all very easy questions.
I'm
Question
cooked.
1. Are you ready?
Here we go. I'm
You
gonna
ready
die.
for this? This is a Marvel and DC quiz.
Oh
All
no.
right. Very simple questions. Don't worry. Okay. What is the answer to any question involving the Flash's powers?
Because Speed Force.
Speed Force. That's right. When Superman is hovering, what propels him to move again?
Uh Farts.
Speed Force.
When Superman.
Yeah, Speed Force.
Okay.
Yeah. How did the Guardians of the Universe develop the technology for Green Lantern rings?
Um I believe that was the, if I'm remembering correctly, it was their attempt to be able to trap uh, and replicate the energy of the Starheart.
No, Speed Force.
Speed Force.
It's Speed Force. Okay.
Okay.
Like, come on. Okay, who is Batman's greatest villain? This is multiple choice. Who is Batman's greatest villain? A. Hush. B.
Uh-huh.
The Joker.
Uh-huh.
C. The Riddler.
Uh-huh.
Or D. Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher.
Correct.
What
What is the Hulk's
he
greatest
was
weakness?
he paused for a laugh there, but that's something I am very serious about.
I was really hoping you say it's the Joker, and we would also accept Joel Schumacher. Question 5. What is the Hulk's greatest weakness?
um, Betty.
Close. It's therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's close. I get half a
Yeah.
point.
What is Spider-Man's greatest power?
Um, uh, he never has to pay for saran wrap.
That's true, but it's being annoying.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
he annoys the fuck out of his opponents. Okay, what is Captain America's shield made out of?
Vibranium. I know that
Yes,
one.
yes. My goal at this point, question 7, you'd be like, okay, it's all joke answers. I'm going to need joke answers. Like, no, no, this is the only real one.
I was sitting here waiting to have to go. And patriotism?
I thought you were going to be like hopes and dreams. Like, no, vibranium. Come on.
Vibranium in America.
Finally, Black Canary fights in high heel boots and fishnets. How does she stay warm?
Body heat.
Speed Force. Come on.
Speed Force. Jesus Christ.
It's the rule of 3 in comedy is once is not enough, twice is too much, 3 times is funny.
3 times as funny.
I think take a few moments and then do it a 4th time. It's even funnier. Why the hell not?
It depends.
That's what I think.
You gotta have the long enough callback and have it work into the conversation correctly. But
Exactly.
speaking of, that was probably really loud on the microphone. I apologize.
What do you think of that quiz?
You really want to know what I think about it?
You did a good job.
I think you did a great job,
Oh, thank you.
and I think that you got a little something going on with the Speed Force, and we're gonna have to talk to the Green Lanterns about it.
It's not
As
my
Cy
fault. The Speed Force
Spurrier-
is the answer to everything.
Earwormed himself into your brain.
Don't you ever say that again. I don't mean that in an insulting way, but I take that as an insult.
I knew he would.
It's just as bad as saying Jeffrey Thorne's your favorite writer, right, Rob? Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. All right, that's enough shenanigans and fun for one day. I hope y'all had fun with that. I had fun writing it. I hope it wasn't weird and awkward.
Speed Force.
Speed Force.
Speed Force.
Bravos?
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 Speed Force. That's what that's from.
Bravos! Oh, I love that game. Did I tell you I introduced that game to my brother-in-law? It was a while back. We were at my sister-in-law's for some kind of holiday I went. Maybe it was Easter weekend. And we both had our Steam decks there. And we're like, I want to play a game. Let's play a game. I was like, okay, let's see what we got. Okay, check out Broforce. It's cheap. It's simple. It's fun. We played for like 3 hours straight.
Nice.
It's so much fun. You know this. Broforce
Yep.
is fantastic.
Yeah, I play with Dash.
Oh yeah.
On that quite a bit on the PlayStation, and every once in a while get lucky enough to have Liam join them. But
Right on. Did they both like it?
yeah,
Yeah,
Dash
they had a
loves
blast.
Dash loves it. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's fake blood splatter, and the whole point is to kill and cause as much destruction as possible. Like if Dash got a multiple choice on what he wanted to be reincarnated as after he passes this life, he would choose a Tasmanian devil. And I'm not even kidding. Be like, can I be a 700-pound termite? That would be Dash. When he wants to, he is just a walking tornado.
That game is perfect for him then.
Yep.
No, it's a blast, literally. And
Come
it's a platform. It's a classic platformer.
Relax.
So if you like older style games and you want modern style gameplay, play Broforce.
Beep, 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 boo.
Broforce. Anyway,
It's
Yeah,
like a
so-
Contra style game.
yeah,
and all of the characters are in it are like parodying versions of action stars and characters that you would see in 80s and 90s movies like Charles Bronson, Indiana Jones, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Terminator, RoboCop, etc.
Yeah. The last update
The
included
Boondock
characters.
Saints.
Yeah. Last update included characters like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Xena the Warrior Princess.
Nice.
Yeah. And I
I
think
haven't
that's the
gotten them yet.
last update they're gonna do.
Boo.
Yeah. But they were working on that game for a long time. I got in there when it was like early access. There was only like 7 or 8 levels. They hadn't even got to the alien stuff yet.
Oh, see, we don't get very far because Dash likes to kill us a lot.
That's honestly
He's
part of it.
he's there more to blow shit up than he is to free people.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's the beauty of that game. You have an objective, but it doesn't really tell you what it is, so you kind of just do it how you want.
Get from one
And
end of the board to the other without dying.
yeah, do whatever you want to do. Just have fun. Excuse me.
No, it's the not dying part that he keeps forgetting. That's
Yeah. Well, like I told my brother-in-law, like I told you, and like I always say, it's very easy to die in that game. It's honestly part of it is dying.
yep. Not much you can do to get around or away from it,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
It's the only roguelike game that's not a roguelike.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
All right, what do you say we kick these um, books off?
Sure.
What?
Let's said sure. Let's do it.
Sure. Let's do it.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Fine.
Well, I don't know. Shit, it was your idea. What are you yelling at me for?
Super.
Yes, the summer of Superman is kicked into high gear, starting off with Supergirl #1. And I just realized the corner box. I didn't see that before.
This? Oh,
Yeah,
Supergirl Unchained from the 90s.
yeah. That's actually really freaking
Nice.
cool. I gotta, like, see if they have that kind of corner box in any other issue. Interesting. This cover just got a lot better. Oh, no. Doesn't look like it.
No.
Well, I do hope they continue with that because that is really freaking cool.
Indeed, they do.
Yeah. All right. So, Supergirl #1, part of the Summer of Superman. This is Misadventures in Midvale, Part 1. Written and drawn by Sophie Campbell with colors from Tamara Bonvillain and letters from Becca Carey. We kick off with good old Supergirl saving Metropolis from Princess Shark, a character I've never heard of, but
I
she's
think that's a new one.
yeah,
Might
think
not be.
giant shark person, but for some reason also makes sharks rain. Very interesting power set. Anyway, Supergirl making quick work of Princess Shark. Just picks her up, takes her back to the ocean, and flies off with Crypto back to the Fortress of Solitude, where it's her turn to patrol around Kandor. She leaves Streaky and Crypto alone and tells them to behave when Streaky's already hissing at Crypto. Not a great idea. Almost as soon as she gets into Kandor, her train begins to derail, so she saves the people aboard and finds Laron, the lycanthrope character. I know Laron, but I don't remember who Laron is. But I remember it was in a recent story, I'm pretty sure. And he's got a lycanthrope disease of some kind. Anyway, he was wreaking havoc, and that's how the train began to derail. Supergirl calms him down, saves a whole bunch of people, and even catches the favor of a certain Kandorian. But she takes Laron and flies away before things can get a little too heavy, I guess I'll say with that. So she gets the Kandorian Science Council to request that Lauron gets better treatment. They decline, but they do have an idea about reprimanding him into the custody of um, not exactly a trainer, but what do they call it? What do they call it? A sponsor,
There
right?
you go.
And they think Kara would be a perfect sponsor for Lauron. She declines at the time because she has a lot going on, and even more happens because as she's saving a plane, she gets a call from her mom, who is back in Midvale. Her and Kara's father, step parents, of course,
Mr.
were
and
able
Mrs. Danvers. Thank you very much.
exactly. Um, Eliza and I don't remember his name. They were able to get some time off from the DEO, so they went back to Midvale, fixed up the old house they all lived in, and are hoping that Kara will come by and visit. As much as she doesn't want to, because she does not have great memories of Midvale, she reluctantly does agree to go and packs up a whole bunch of things, and apparently a few weeks later goes there. Deciding to be Linda Danvers again, which was the identity she assumed back when she was growing up in Midvale. Almost as soon as she lands, she finds the town is just Supergirl centric. Everybody's talking about Supergirl, wearing Supergirl shirts, and everybody's got Supergirl signs. However, the Supergirl design that is on all the posters and boards is not like her at all. It's
Yeah, she
a
she walks up and says, "Look how big they made my boobs."
right. It's a much much curvier Supergirl with a different haircut and a different kind of costume. So she's very confused about that. Gets to the house, finds a whole bunch of her stuff on the front yard by the garbage. A whole bunch of her old posters and even her old costumes. She's wondering what the hell is going on. Before she can go into the house and talk to her parents, she runs into an old high school friend, Clarissa Giltedge, who they chat a little bit, and then Clarissa has to head off, but almost gets hit by a car right in front of Kara, so she quickly transforms into Supergirl, saves her, and this is when everybody goes gaga over Supergirl again, until Clarissa goes, wait a minute, that's not Supergirl, that's the imposter that we've been warned about, that she warned us about, and she is hot on the tails of the scene because the other Supergirl has arrived, the curvier, bustier, different skirt wearing, and even has a bunny partner. Supergirl has shown up on the scene, sprays Arakara with some kind of weird purple goop, which changes her costume to have a letter P instead of an S and have, believe it or not, green and purple color. Josh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I saw it. And do you know
Also,
what the
eh?
she put a P on it and then called her super phony.
Yeah, super phony. Yeah. Zaps her with another weird device, and then tells her to get on Midvale while she still can, and flies away. Crypto licks at Kara's wounds. She hides her costumes in a hollow tree hiding spot that she used to have around town. Changes her hair back to brown using her magic. What does she call it?
The chromatic super comb,
Chromatic
which
super comb. That's what it is.
is a thing.
Yeah. Kryptonian
And so is
technology, man. It's
Norcan, by the way.
you know what you know what else? Speed Force.
Speed Force.
Yeah, that's it.
Norcan. I don't remember anything about a ring, but I know that Norcan was a part of the story with the original Flamebird and Nightwing and Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Right.
And then the chromatic super comb was from the early 80s after Kara decided that she was sick and tired of always having to wear a wig while she was Linda Danvers.
Don't blame her. Don't blame her at all. That would be a pain in the butt. So she changed her hair back to brown with the chromatic super comb, and then heads to the house, rings the doorbell. Her parents answer, and they don't recognize her at all. In fact, they think she just has the wrong house.
New house,
So
who this?
right? She barges her way in and said, what the hell is going on? Everybody's freaking me out. And then down comes the stairs, Linda Danvers, not just any Linda Danvers, but the Supergirl that we know, um, pretending to be Linda Danvers, and that's where our issue ends. With the Supergirl, that the fake, phony, the curvy new costume, short hair. Yeah, some weird ass shenanigans is going on. I was going into this with not exactly little, but basically no expectations, which I tried to do these days with a new number one, especially a book that I don't typically read. I read Supergirl here and there in the past, but I was never a huge reader of Supergirl. Um, there also hasn't been many Supergirl series in a long time, so I was going into this with a grain of salt. Didn't recognize the writer either, so you know. But I am pleasantly surprised by this issue. It is actually really good, really engaging, very interesting. Um, wasn't long ago I had a theory about Matrix. Oh, it was in a backup in Action Comics, I think, right? I don't want to
Yeah,
say
that
this
was
is
when we
Matrix,
were
but
going with the Supergirl backup about
yeah,
the
alien prisoner.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, I'm not going to say this is old Matrix situation, but the last time there were two Supergirls, it was definitely Matrix. So, you know, um,
Indeed.
yeah, we'll just have to see. The curious thing is that while she is displaying some kind of superpowers, at least flight, most of the combat was done with technology. So, what's going on there? Um, I'm thinking fifth dimensional imp. That's what I'm going with.
I hope not.
Yeah, I know you don't
Not just
want it to
because of that,
be.
because in Imp one off issue or two issue story arc is one thing, but to have that be the kickoff for a brand new title, I
Yeah,
don't know about all of that. And
yeah.
it, it doesn't say of anywhere on there. Do we know if this is 100% like confirmed and ongoing, or is this like a
That I'm not sure of.
yeah, that's what I figured too.
Brandon's usually on the ball about that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind if it's an ongoing, but
No, I would prefer it if it was an ongoing, but I mean, I think kicking it off with a might wouldn't be the greatest idea. Not to say that we've seen that pretty much everybody has their own imp now.
yeah,
After what was that? Mark Wade did that.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I really like this. I dig that they were into Kara enough to go back and dig into her history about bringing up Norcan, bringing up the super comb, which is super cool. But I feel like it's more than the interesting story about a duplicate Supergirl. The whole damn town is broken. The art is really good. The colors match it perfectly. And I'm really curious who Bombshell Supergirl is. I loved this. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
I also quite liked it. I will also not, oh, maybe not an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.75 for now. Um, I wasn't super in love with some of the art, but I did enjoy it for the most part. Right? I couldn't help but every time this fake Supergirl came on the scene with the really big, just giant one tooth that fills her whole mouth, um, can't help but see Doreen Green, Squirrel Girl. Right?
Yep. Yep. Oh, oh, that's perfect.
Right?
I swear I really thought you were gonna say this is what Supergirl would look like if they put her in Marvel Rivals.
I mean,
And
it
close enough.
fits.
It fits.
Yeah, so 8.75 for me for this book.
Oh, definite up there with me too. 8.5. This is like my favorite Supergirl look. I don't know what's going on with with The other one, we are gonna find out. So far, Sophie Campbell, way to freaking go, man! Good stuff, and on from Supergirl to Superman
So how?
in Action Comics number 1086, written by Glorious Willow Wilson, art by Gavin Goodry, colors Trish Mulvihill, lettering from Dave Sharp, and the cover came from Brad Walker and Mulvihill. Clark and Kilgore sitting in a freeze. Clark says, "How'd you hide from me?" Kilgore is just chilling there, saying that it was only logical you would eventually show up, especially if inconsequential people were in danger. Holy crap. If you could not, you cannot write a more this is traditional Superman villainous dialogue than that. Good job.
I mean, this
They,
is a supervillain AI.
yes, exactly.
So like, I'm not surprised.
No,
It
not at
kind of
all.
fits perfect.
100%. They
Yeah.
fight. It goes back and forth. Superman finally heat visions Kilgore's CPU and sends him out into near Earth orbit, and
Yeah.
that's it. There is some growth too. Clark realizing that soon there might be more than magic that he doesn't know how to fight against. Pretty good wrap up for a pretty good 2 issue arc. I liked it. The art was not hard to look at either.
Hmm.
It was it's pretty good, pretty good. Quick tool. Is this the end of the Superman superstars?
I've been saying that for the past three story arcs. I don't know. I'm just
Really?
gonna
Okay,
say I
because
don't know.
I think
I know there's a creative team coming. I just don't know when.
this releases monthly,
Yes,
so I think this is it. This is it.
I want to say you're right. In fact, let
Yeah.
me just go confirm that. I'll take a quick look at League of Comic Geeks.
Oh, I know for a fact that it's gonna be done in July. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be done in June.
Oh, well, yeah,
However,
right on the front page of the this issue for League of Comic Geeks, the can't miss finale of the Superman Superstars arc.
there you go.
Yeah, next issue next month is Summer of Superman with a new creative team with Mark Wade, Skylar Patridge, Ivan Placencia. No letter is listed. But on the cover, they do have a corner box with the same little art. Yeah, like the same corner box as Supergirl.
Ah, the '90s corner
Nine
box.
nineties style, yeah. Not the same one as Supergirl, but the same style. Like
Right.
a little
Yep.
little picture of the character.
Yep. Dipping back into the '90s, we got
Yeah.
Supergirl dressing like she's in the '90s. We got this. We got the '90s boxes up on the top there now. I mean,
Yeah.
Marvel's bringing back the swimsuit issues.
Yeah, right.
You gonna be allowed to read Zenoscope in public again soon?
Let's see, is Batman and Robin doing? No, Batman and Robin is not doing it. Might only be for the Summer of Superman stuff.
Very well could be. Is I mean, throughout the whole thing, they were all, I believe, intentionally given like a very traditional Superman feel to them.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was good stuff. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Superman Superstars has been, I don't want to say hit or miss, but like there's been some stuff better than others. But for the most part, I feel it was a really cool initiative. Uh,
Yeah, fun little stories that they
yeah,
didn't need to come up with a summer event that very well could have sucked.
exactly. Um, you could call it just filling time, padding issues before they get an ongoing creative team, whatever you want to call it. But it was different creative teams per story arc, and it was just fun little side stories. And I thought, like I said in almost every issue, it's an action comic, right? You get what you pay for, you get what's in the title, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're fun
No.
stories. They're not going to be anybody's favorite issues or favorite stories, but they are action comics, and that's what you're getting, is what you're promised. And I appreciate that. I really like it. I'm a little sad to see it stop because I was actually, like I said, I've been enjoying Superman Superstar. I thought that was a great idea.
I
Um,
feel, I mean, it was done for a purpose. Obviously, this came
yeah,
around for marketing for the movie,
yeah,
and I feel as though, like I mentioned before, that these were all given the directive of, hey, you know, we need you to write a story with 2 or 3 issues in it, and here's the thing, okay, got to be clean, and I need you to give this the classic Clark Kent personality to this. Like, really let that classic Clark Kent personality shine through it in your stories. And I think the reason that they did that was because we're gonna be shown that as well. I think we're being reminded of that as a warm up to the movie, if that makes any sense.
yeah. And another thing I really appreciate about it is that most, if not all, of these superstars stories. Okay, I'll say most because there were a couple that definitely weren't. So I think it's a couple were like new villains, but the villains of the piece were all like really old Superman villains that we haven't seen in ages.
Yep.
Ones that you never would have thought of unless you saw it on a page, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
B and C tier Superman villains, and just like, yeah, it's cool to see that like people can still use these characters. We're not just getting the 15th story this year of Lex Luthor or
Uh,
Bizarro or
dude,
Brainiac.
it's like, if you would have asked me to start listing Superman villains, I don't know how far down the line I would have had to get before there would have even been a possibility of Kilgore entering my mind.
Right?
But it was
Exactly.
way down there. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. Like you, they were just meant to be little quick stories,
Yeah.
just, filling time. Taking the place of the summer event. This was the summer event, getting all these little stories of Superman, and I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll
Exactly.
take that over a goddamn 2 issue a piece fucking arc about nightmares. I'll tell you that much. Tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
This was
Agreed.
nice.
It was really nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it I'll give it an 8.75, 8.5,
Ooh.
8.5.
Alrighty.
What did you give
And
it?
uh,
Oh. Here,
woo!
pass some of
All
my
of a
monster.
sudden, I am dog ass tired. I gave it a 7.75.
Right on.
And now Green Lantern.
Yeah. I was
I
gonna
don't have
say
shit for transitions
I was gonna
today.
say something about like Kilgore was in low orbit. Now we're gonna go even further in deep orbit.
There you go. To the outer limits, 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 limits.
Boldly go where no man has gone before, to infinity and beyond.
Yeah, I think we took a left turn in Albuquerque.
I don't know. Anyway, this is Green Lantern Corps number 4. This is written by Morgan Hampton and Jeremy Adams with art from V. Ken Marion and Amanke Noelpan, colors from Marie Prianto, and letters from Dave Sharp. So we pick up not exactly where we left off last issue. We're in a new
Wait,
story arc,
wait, wait,
folks.
wait, 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 wait.
What?
The cover came from Fernando Pasarin, Eau Claire Albert, and Arif Prianto. And the reason why I came
Oh
back and I had
shit!
to make sure that I
Sorry,
said something was I always put that on there for the cover, right? The colorist.
I normally do too,
I
but shit,
think,
I
yeah,
thought that was very
we
cover
hold on,
artist. My
hold on.
bad.
You just accidentally skipped all of the cover. and that
Yeah.
that happens. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
This, I think, is the first time I've ever seen the colorist listed for a cover credit before, and I think that that's pretty fucking cool that it was done. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's specifically listed as a colorist on the cover, and I don't think I've ever seen that before. Usually, I feel like colorists are typically discounted, and they really aren't. They shouldn't be anyway. The colors
Yeah.
sell half that art.
Exactly. Same with inkers.
Yeah. Yep, inkers can make or break a perfect pencil. Uh, okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, crazy ass
Uh,
story coming up.
yeah, here we go. All right, so we open up on Guy Gardner in Jessica Cruz's office. He's a little annoyed and getting in her face, but if y'all remember that episode of Green Lanterns when Jessica punched Guy in the face and got away with it, yeah, she's got something on him. So, he has a new mission, and his mission is to train a new recruit because Kilowog has a lot on his hands. Um, Guy goes to where Kilowog is, and Kilowog is given the old drill instructor be all end all, just getting right up in this guy's face, calling him all sorts of things like a fragging dung burying piece of vomit, and just it's classic. It's fucking classic. But this little creature is called Narf. Yeah, I know. Narf.
Hmm.
A little
That's
lion
hilarious. I
creature.
say Narf for no reason.
Because you watched Pinky and the Brain growing up, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Everybody watched Animaniacs. Narf.
I forgot about that.
Right?
Narf. Yeah.
Narf. Now I know what Josh is doing after the show. He's going to look up Pinky and the Brain episodes.
What are you doing?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky.
Thank you.
Try to take over the
Take
world.
over the world. One swimming pool at a time.
You think of it, I am Pinky? I think so, Brain. But where are we going to get all that wire?
No, you idiot.
Where are we going to get bananas at this time of night? Classic.
That was good shit. Man.
Yeah. As a recipe for beauty, as that show was. Animaniacs too, but that's
That and Animaniacs is peak comedy animation writing.
Yep.
Period. Hands
Agreed.
down. Yep.
Agreed.
There is not another animated show out there that has the funny beats that either of those shows have.
Yeah.
Not even close. And I love adult cartoons.
Well, do you remember a clip in Animaniacs when Yakko was being a detective and Dot was like his sidekick, and he's like, "We need
That's
to,
my favorite part. And
Yeah.
and he goes,
we need to look for
need
prints."
some fingerprints. And she goes, I don't think so.
Yeah, she's holding prints.
Yes, yep.
And he just smiles. And like every millennial kid knows, every millennial kid will say the same thing. When I was a kid, I still thought that was funny, but I had no clue what the joke was.
Right?
I laughed for an entirely different reason that did not make sense. But at the time, I thought it was funny for a reason unknown only to me at the time. Right?
And it matters not.
Exactly. But then that's the beauty of like a lot of these 90s cartoons is they have jokes that clearly were meant for adults. You still find them funny as a kid, and then 20 years later you grow up, you think about it like, oh shit, I still find that funny, but for a different reason. Like I get it
Mhm.
now. It's great.
Indeed
stuff.
it is.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Green Lantern Corps. Alright, so Kilowog is giving the old drill instructor BL and all to Narf, a little lion
Nerf.
type creature with some metal gauntlets. Very scared looking little creature. Honestly, the design very reminiscent of
Snurf.
Snurf. Yeah, Snarf, Snurf, whatever his name is.
Snurf.
Snurf.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I thought I said Snarf.
Snurf.
No. Well, shit, I had it wrong. But that's Guy's mission. He does whatever he can to get Kilowatt to take it on because you don't have enough money, right? So Guy is stuck with Narf. Meanwhile, Simon is in a garage on Oa, working on a construct of his car because he just wants to have a little thing of home. Kelly shows up
So
looking
cute.
for a what the fuck's it? Psionic battery. I knew it was going to call it powder battery, but that doesn't make
Yes.
psionic battery for some other thing. But it turns out it's her birthday. So Simon was like, all right, you know what? Hop in. Um,
Because Ellie tells on him.
yeah, Ellie is there as well. Ellie and Kelly are with Simon. And they drive off in Simon's constructed vehicle. And they head out to Necropia, which is a dead Starro hollowed out and has turned into basically a merchant city. But it's also crime ridden, and every Green Lantern knows it to be a place to get information and find people you're looking for. So they head to Enzo's Equipment Emporium, where Simon knows that Enzo is one that holds very illegal things, and one of those things will be a psionic battery. They just need one. He says he's going to go to the back and get one, and he'll be back in a moment. Meanwhile, Guy and Narf are also on their way to Necropia, where they have landed basically straight at the boss's office. Um, Guy flexes his Green Lantern muscle and gets himself and Narf right in there. Uh, and they find the boss is none other than actually still alive, Evil Star. He does not have his star bands, so he got into the trading business. Guy is there looking for information. He wants Evil Star to find him Starbreaker. Gives him the rundown of who Starbreaker is, and if he does give Guy the information, he'll pretend that he didn't see him, right? But if he doesn't, well, we all know what'll happen, don't we? Right? Meanwhile, Enzo comes back with the psionic battery, but it's not actually a psionic battery. It's a mind grenade of some kind.
Kaboom.
Kelly and Simon both get blasted by it, and they get stuck inside their own brains in a mind uh,
Mind maze.
maze. Thank you. Why couldn't I think of that fucking word?
Because you were under pressure.
Oh my god.
Just like on the cover.
I get it. Ellie senses that their minds have gone a little bit haywire, so she blips herself over to where they are, um, finds them unconscious, and seeps her way into Simon's mind while also trying to get into Kelly's mind. Enzo, meanwhile, calls for the boss to bring out his quantum destabilizer because he's trying to get the gauntlet off of Kelly's arm, but it won't budge, so he needs some extra firepower. However, Evil Star is currently using the quantum destabilizer on Guy and Narf.
Narf?
Which Guy's just, he's had enough and he's ready to beat the shit out of somebody because Evil Star's not cooperating. Meanwhile, inside Simon's mind, Ellie has shown up and is giving him the rundown that they are in a mind maze. They need to get to the end within an hour because if they don't, their brain liquefies and oozes out of their facial orifices. So, no pressure.
Yes.
Ellie is going to do what she can to connect Simon and Kelly's brains together so they can get through the mind maze at the same time. They go through a doorway that she creates inside his mind and finds Kelly almost instantly, but Kelly's mind maze is actually the moment she got the gauntlet. And we see her in the junkyard where she found it, but in front of her is a alien Green Lantern bleeding out, saying you have to destroy the glove before it destroys everything, and her saying that's not how this happened. It isn't right, and that's where our issue ends with the next issue text box promising the origin of Teen Lantern plus the return of Space Cabbie. I'm excited about both those things. So right away, I'm going to say thank you, Morgan Hampton and Jeremy Adams, for finally giving us a proper origin on Teen Lantern and giving us the rundown of what the hell is going on with Kelly Cantella and this gauntlet, because that's been a thing for years. Excuse me. We talked before about Bendis, how he's an idea guy, and like, yeah, he had an idea about Teen Lantern, but this is the one of the times where his idea didn't really pan anywhere because he did nothing with it. He gave us hints at the end of his run on Young Justice, and that was it. And then left somebody else to pick up any pieces he had left behind, which wasn't much to begin with. So I'm hoping that Adams and Hampton actually do give us the rundown and some actual fucking history on this gauntlet, because we've gone through 4 creative teams since then, and nobody's touched on it.
I have no doubt.
Yes, me neither. And if they do it, I will forever be grateful to both these guys. I'm already like loving Jeremy Adams' work as it is, so
Mm-hmm.
sold. Just this will
I'm
make
glad
it
he
so
listens
much
to the
better.
podcast and takes ideas from us. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Also, this is exactly the kind of Green Lantern Corps story I've been waiting for, that I love. This is what made Tomasi's run so interesting. Was there's no great danger to the entire universe that needs to be tasked by the entire Green Lantern Corps all at once. There's nothing threatening to destabilize the Corps or tear it apart or kill a whole bunch of lanterns at the same time. It's just like, yeah, there's some stuff going on, but Green Lantern Corps is dealing with its thing right now and is telling stories about lanterns in the Corps. And I appreciate that. And I love it. And it's exactly what I look for in a Green Lantern Corps book. I don't think there's anything to dislike here. I think it's fantastic. Yes, some people are going to complain that it's all about Earth Lanterns, but it's not, because we have a new Lantern called Narf, and he's adorable, and he's going to be funny. And there's going to be more, I assure you. So I just can't fucking wait. And the fact that some people from issue 1 are like, oh my god, it's a John Stewart centric book. John Stewart's not even in this issue, it's issue 4. Right? Y'all need to like have patience, let things play out. It's Green Lantern Corps. It's going to focus on the core. It's going to focus on different people, but it will also tell a story, and that's what we're getting. That's what we're promised. That's what we're given. I love it. The art
Fucking
is
relax before we
fantastic.
jug you up with Thorazine, dog.
Exactly. My anger translator, Josh.
Come up on this chair, and I will bring it with me.
Treat you like we're at a friggin' Waffle House, son. Uh, I'm giving this an 8.75. It's fantastic. I really like it.
Um, it's crazy. It's crazy in the greatest of ways. There's so much going on. It manages to hit on everything, and it doesn't feel either too crammed in or too short. I don't know how this creative team keeps doing this every issue. There's absolutely zero chance at all that Jeremy Adams thinks of all of this stuff that he is writing all by himself during his walking, waking hours. So that dude's got to have some crazy fucking dreams.
Yeah.
Hampton has only added to this series in the last few issues that he has been a part of, and as far as the writing goes, it is one of the best books that there are from DC right now. But that's Adam's trek through Green Lantern in general. But this in particular is great. I can't wait to find out what the hell is going on with Kelly and her gauntlet. It's been making me scratch my head and my beard for a long time now. And for Kelly, I think the age is perfect. I don't know why I like put her at 14, but 12 works. And as far as the art, this is top shelf, and I mean that about the lines, inks, colors, shading, lighting. This whole damn issue was on fire, man. 9 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
That was mwah, good shit, sir.
Agreed.
I'm gonna let it hang out before I flush it. That's how good that shit was. But tis. Whoa, no,
Uh-oh.
I lost my books.
Uh-oh. There they are. You found it.
Yay! And I'm gonna take over here with Batman and Robin, number 21, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, with art from Javi Fernandez, with the first 4 pages from Carmine Di Giandomenico, all with colors from Marcelo Malo and lettering by Steve Wands, with Fernandez and Malo on the cover. Review, pretty straightforward. A quick glimpse of the past to show us that the I completely lost track of where I was at. Hold on 1 second.
No worries.
Anyway, it's a quick glimpse of the past to show us that Bly had fired Lautrec and Bruce after getting scared by his case. The rest is Bruce turning to Lautrec and for help in finding Damien, and her reluctantly sharing Damien's theory with him that Memento has been at this for generation upon generation upon generation, and that Atticus Bly maybe never died, and that the desk mask that he wears might be possessed by a demon, maybe. Not quite sure on that last part, but I think it's right. At the end, we see Bruce turning to a group of local kids that call themselves the Gotham Irregulars, get some fiber for information that only someone completely ignored would be able to hear. And then, of course, there's the final page where we see Damien trapped in the clear prison cell all alone. And he's asking someone in the back if they are Memento. We get a good look at their face, though very, very aged. It appears to be Atticus Bly. The art is freaking fire in this issue and series, which works 2 ways because it's so red and orange heavy lately. The story still has me curious as hell. Whatever is on the other side of this for Damien, I hope it's more than what he is now. The mystery still lingers because we know we saw who I believe is Bly, and it looks like Bly, same mustache, etc. Eye color as well. And I don't think just because we saw him doesn't necessarily mean that he's Memento. Could be. It could be that they're one and the same, Jekyll Hyde kind of thing going on and not even realizing. Memento is like this eternal killer and using that death mask, and Atticus Bly is his alternate personality that is constantly trying to take down himself, and he doesn't know it. That would be something. But I mean, who knows? The only thing I do know is that I'm along for the ride, and such a great ride it is. Art, story, voices, all prime. 8.5 out of 10.
I 100% agree about everything you just said, and you basically covered everything I was gonna say. This whole thing with Atticus Bly is just, it's little too suspect to really believe everything you're being told on at face value, right? It's like there's so many different ways this mystery can go. I'm confused but intrigued at the same time, which is
right.
Is
I feel like I'm a fucking spy investigating this shit, having to sift through misinformation.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting way to write it, and I'm kind of enjoying it.
Exactly, which is rare in a way,
Yeah.
right? It's just the way Johnson's written this is fantastic, and I'm constantly needing to remind myself this isn't Detective Comics.
Right?
Right? That's Like Taylor's doing some great detective comics, but this feels like a detective comic at the same time.
It definitely, yeah. This
Yeah,
this would have been right at home in a detective book for sure. But I'll
exactly.
take this anywhere. This is good stuff.
Yeah. Um, the only thing that I want to say about it that I don't think you touched on was Bruce is always adamant about the supernatural not being something he'll ever turn to. The whole idea with ghosts and spirits and magic and whatnot, despite the fact that numerous writers over the years have shown us that he trained with magicians, that he's worked with ghosts, he knows Dead Man personally, and
Hmm.
yet still he will deny that stuff anytime
It's
he
not that he
maybe
denies it.
comes across it in a mystery. Just like I'm thinking,
Oh
what if
man.
this is actually like a magic thing, right? What if this is actually like this is a ghost of
So
a century and a half old being, and Bruce is
Batman,
like, I
Superman,
don't want to believe that.
Batman, Superman, both have their own things with magic, right?
Yeah.
Superman is willing to admit it way faster than Batman is, but Batman's whole thing isn't that he doesn't want to believe that it's there or denies that it's there. It's that he knows that 99% of the time it's not that. It's just something that makes it look like that. So that's where his approach comes from.
But
Yeah,
that's
this shit
like
isn't
even
happening.
that
Nobody's going to be alive. It's
he
got to
won't
be a
even
replica.
entertain it. That's the thing.
Oh, he's entertaining it now.
He had no fucking choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's. I think you're right on the nose there. It didn't cross my mind that it could be a whole um, Doctor
Jekyll
Jekyll,
Hyde.
Mister Hyde situation. Yeah, I like that theory. I think you might be onto something there. Maybe that's what it is. Some kind of virus that infects people over the years. I don't know. There's just so
They're
many
like
different avenues to this story that so many pieces left unpicked up yet. It just left on the floor. I'm excited to see how this story is going to play out. I have no
so
theories. I'm just going to sit back
throughout
and enjoy this ride.
with Detective Comics with DC Comics, Gotham and London have always had this like deep relationship, right?
Yeah, yeah,
All right, so by extension, that Gotham and Scotland Yard have also had a deep connection, depending on what timeline you're going by, right?
yeah.
Even proxy through London. So here's where I'm thinking. So Damien was looking into this thing a long ass time ago, where this guy was using that death mask and got that mask possessed by a demon, right? So
Right.
what if that worked its way into the possession of Memento or Bly or whoever? And that's how the creation of Memento came to be.
Hmm.
It's not a singular person. It's the mask that's transferring the personality to a new individual. That's just one other thing that I'm trying to. It's like that I'm trying to figure it out, man. It's damn good writing. Damn good writing. It deserves an 8.5 out of 10. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm even gonna go a step further. I'll give it an 8.75. Um,
He's just trying to outdo me.
always. Yeah, that's it's just there's nothing else I could say. It's a fantastic fucking read. It's got so much depth to the mystery. I can't wait to see how it plays out.
Agreed.
All right, that will bring us to our last book. So let's swim
Yes,
on
it
over to that.
will. Swimming, and we're swimming and
Just keep
swimming.
swimming. Just keep swimming.
That's what it is.
Yeah, this
Just keep
is
swimming. Just keep
Aquaman
swimming.
in oh god, it's eating my written by Jeremy Adams with art from John Timms, ink assists from Jefferson Sadinsky. Colors from Rex Locus and letters from Dave Sharp with the cover from John Timms. That is actually the title of the
It actually is.
actually
He's
is, yeah.
he's he's not making it up.
I'm not joking.
No.
Yeah. So we open up on the High Court of Dagon, City of the Blue, where a resident of
Oops.
the City of the Blue had to hunt for food outside of the city, hunting in the blue, which is forbidden according to Dagon. Um, it's against the law. He broke the law despite the fact that he needed to because he
I
has
am the
children to
law.
feed, and there's just not enough food coming into the city. But that doesn't matter to the court, so they sentence him to go swim in the blue. And not only him, but they ask his wife and child to go with them. Not ask, sorry. Force his wife
Horse.
and child to go with them. They send
I'll
them
put
out into the
that.
blue, and they are promptly eaten by all sorts of undersea creatures, sharks and piranhas and eels and oh my, yeah.
Nothing that seems fun to be eaten by. That's for
No,
sure.
no, the whole family was eaten alive. It's disturbing to say the least. But
Yep.
that's just the low point of this
Freaking
issue.
jerks.
Yeah. We then go to the other side of the city where Aquaman, Arion, and is it Arian or Orion?
Orion.
Orion? Okay.
Yes.
I always, every time this issue comes up, I just back and forth my mind. Arian, Orion. I never know which way to go. Okay. Orion,
Well, how about this way?
Vivian, and
Anything
Arthur.
that sounds like Aryan is bad
Why?
because Aryan is white supremacy.
Ah, okay. See, I always say that as Arian.
Nope, that's Aryan.
It's Arian.
Yep.
I always said the Aryan. This is
Well,
Arian.
that Aryan is Aquaman's grandpa.
Okay.
Orion. Excuse me.
Orion. Orion.
Orion.
Okay. Okay.
Orion. Yes.
Orion.
Orion. Yes.
Orion, not
Okay.
Orion. Not the new
Right.
god, the other god.
Yes.
Yeah. Not that god, that god.
Not the one up there, the one
Okay.
down there. No, not that down there, the one over there.
Yeah.
Ah,
Exactly. Yeah, now you got
gods. Them
Now
silly
you
bitches
got
be
it.
crazy.
it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, the intrepid trio are going through the city trying to find out what they can about Arthur's family and also about this mysterious Dagon that they have vowed to take down because he's a right piece of shit. However, they come across another person being arrested by the guards, and this man you might recognize because he's one Captain Nemo
Captain Nemo of
Captain-
the Nautilus.
of the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Holy shit. Yeah, so that happens, and this Captain Nemo is beating the shit out of the guards. Arthur intervenes at the behest of Arian. Oh my god. Orion. It's gonna take me a minute.
Woo!
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Breathing.
Yeah, so Arthur helps save Captain Nemo, and they escape. They hide away in a little watering hole, pun intended, where he reveals who he is and how he got there. That he was in his Nautilus, he was in his submersible, and went way too deep into the ocean to the point that he ended up in the blue. And now was trying to find his way back, but before he could get too far into the blue, he was captured, his ship confiscated from him, and then forced into the city and then arrested. So with that, he does say that he was around the city for a while before they came across him there. He'd been to all sorts of parts of the city. So Arthur does ask, by any chance, have you come across other people like me from Atlantis, such as even my wife, Mira, she is the queen, and he says a woman with red hair, describes that he has seen her and he can help them get to her if they help him get to his boat. So, all right, plan away. Let's go. Arthur and crew go straight up to the gates. Well, We see just Arthur because the other three are being held back by an invisibility spell. Arthur gets himself arrested and brought right out into the courts, where he stops feigning ignorance and weakness and then beats the shit out of the hammerhead shark, a guard called Titanus, and takes on the all the guards around the area. And this is when the trio reveal themselves outside of their invisibility spell. Vivienne hands Arthur his trident, and together they take down the guards. However, this is when the mermaid squad, the mercenaries, that area. Oh my god. The once king of Atlantis calls them. I can't get that name. Orion.
Uh,
Orion. Orion.
Ryan. Yeah.
Orion.
Ryan. Yes.
Orion.
Ryan.
Orion.
Yep.
It's Ryan, one of them. Orion.
Be like, Ryan?
Ryan. Orion. Yeah. Not Reynolds. Not Gosling.
No. Ryan?
Orion. Okay.
Uh,
I'll get there.
uh,
Ryan.
Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan. Okay. Orion calls them mercenaries because they're mermaids and they're mercenaries. Get it? Yeah.
Mm,
I love it.
me do.
Yeah. So now they're greatly outnumbered. However, Orion and Vivienne have found the ship, so they all head out towards it. Arthur shuts the door behind them, tells Captain Nemo to get the Nautilus ready. However, the door gets broken down by Titanus very quickly. However, everybody is inside the boat except for Arthur, who is standing on top of the Nautilus. Says a little thing about it's just some cool hero shit he talks about. It's fucking awesome. Um, the room they are in is surrounded by water. It's a glass dome, and he can also, using his telepathy, sea creature telepathy, can hear the creatures around them and how vicious they are and how much they've killed for Dagon. And at that moment, he shatters the glass around them using the power of his trident and aquakinesis. And this sends the murderous creatures and water flooding towards into the court chambers. They have to shut the door before they get eaten alive. Arthur gets inside the Nautilus and off they go. Elsewhere, we actually meet King Dagon here, and he has Mira in his chambers, tied to a post, monologuing about Arthur showing up, and he hem and hawed about whether or not to just kill him, but figured maybe he can't wait to see the pain and fear on the face of the king of Atlantis when he sees what you have become. As we see a small visage of Mira with a gray streak in her hair. Yeah, and that's where our issue ends. So it looks like Mira has gotten older. How long have they been in the blue? You know, we're seeing Orion young, we're seeing Vivienne, we're seeing Captain Nemo, and we're seeing modern day 2025 Arthur Curry. It's come to my attention that maybe time travels a little differently in the blue, right? Because all four of these people are from very different time periods, right? And they're all there, seemingly around the same age. So I suspect there's some time shenanigans going on here. Time works differently in the blue than it does in the real world. So we'll have to see what happens. Be all end all, I'm loving this book still. 5 issues in, it's still a banger. Jeremy Adams is killing it with Arthur. The art has been fantastic. John Timms is doing some fantastic stuff here. A lot of the character designs are really well done. The colors to go with it. When you're doing an Aquaman book, you need good colors. I think it's a must.
Yeah, beyond
the colors
shadow,
need to be good, and the colors here are fantastic. They complement everything wonderfully. Jeremy Adams bringing in not just like ancient myths, but now classic literature, all having to do with bodies of water. Um, what else does he have up his sleeve? Arthur has brought together a team of people from history full of myths and stories. I'm just curious what the blue really is. Is it a force of nature like the rot, the red, and the green? Or is it a hub of stories, even? Right? Or is this all existing in his mind? Like there's so much possibility here, and I'm gonna try not to overthink it because I'm just enjoying this fucking ride. I really am. It's a blast. This one is getting a 9.25 out of 10 for me. I'm
Damn.
really loving Aquaman.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. I think this was great. Another chapter in a great story, great art, fantastic. Honestly, some of the best art from DC every month is in Aquaman. This month being no different. So awesome book. But at the end, Dagon says that seeing what's been done to Mira would be worse than seeing her dead. So it's not age, my man. No, I think that shock of light gray hair is to show trauma. I think that's what that was meant to show.
Mm,
We can't see her face, so maybe she's been mutated somehow or disfigured. We can see most of her, and there appears to be nothing wrong or different with the rest of her according to her
yeah.
silhouette. We get a serious look from one of her eyes, the rest of her face is obscured. So I don't know. I'm dying to know what the hell that's all about, but
Yeah.
something happened, and it's definitely not the passage of time because he does say what's been done to her.
That is true. Though I will
Um,
admit, when I saw the streak of gray hair and I thought it was time moved differently, and that she
mhm.
had been aged up to be a much older version, I was also thinking baby Andy was also with her. So now we get to the time where baby Andy is all grown up.
Oh, okay. I can see where those dots got connected for sure.
Yeah, because that was the thought on my mind during, like, actually recently when I was thinking about when they had that future state Justice League. And okay, yeah, John Kent, you had Yara Flor, you have Joe Moline, you have Jace Fox, and they're all still there, and they don't look much older. But then you have Andy, who's grown up at least 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
How? How did that happen? So I'm thinking that they're if they were ever going to go along with that baby Andy being an aqua person, at some point there would have to be a quick age up at some point, and like maybe this is it. But no, I think you might be onto something there. It might not be time moves differently.
Only one way to tell.
Yep.
So like Rob said, fucking book is fantastic. As far as Arthur goes, the perfect Arthur is when you do a 50-40-10 mix. 50% Green Arrow, 40% Superman, 10% Wonder Woman. Anything less is uncivilized. That is the perfect recipe for Aquaman, and Adams, Tim, Sadzinski, and Locust captured that perfectly in here. I really enjoy this. It's the best Arthur has been in some time. There's not a lot that happens in this book, particularly, other than teaming up with Nemo and the Nautilus. That's pretty cool. But it's the quality of what was done that gets such a high score here. 8.25 out of 10 for me. I think it was just absolutely awesome. And that's it.
I gotta say, it's been such a long time since there's been an ongoing Aquaman title, and it's been such a long time since I would say that there's a strong case for an Aquaman title to be the best, if not just one of the best books that DC's putting out monthly.
Mm-hmm. And it really is.
Yeah, like we're
I'm pretty
five
damn
issues in.
happy
I
with
think it's
it.
safe to say that at this point.
Yeah. 5 months.
Hmm.
Better be good.
Yeah,
Or I'm wasting my time.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
Top three.
Yes.
All right. I had a hard tie, but I
Oh, okay.
split it
Right.
because one is a setup as a number one. So
Right.
number three, Supergirl.
Okay.
Number two, Batman and Robin.
Right.
And number one, hold on, I'm sorry. There, sitting there trying to politely not choke while I'm streaming. Um, so number two, Batman and Robin, and then number one, Green Lantern Corps. And honestly, my favorite moment was seeing Simon working on a construct car that he built piece by piece. I don't know how he does it, but I thought that was really cool as hell,
Yeah.
and gave us a side of Simon. Well, that isn't just Simon reacting to a crisis. This
Yeah.
is good stuff.
And not just like any car. It's like 100% replica of his own car back on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how he knows every single piece that's on it down to the nut and bolt. He's like, if I see anything out of place, I'll know. And yeah, that's really cool. We haven't seen
Very cool.
personality from Simon like that, I'd argue, since Jeff Johns.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right.
Right? Green
That's really
Lanterns
messed up.
had a lot of great Simon moments, but I don't think we had that level of personality from him throughout that run. I gotta be honest with you.
Nope. I think you're right.
Yeah.
All right. What was yours, my man?
I also had kind of a tie, but for third place, Supergirl's gonna get an honorary number 4. Would be number 3, but Green Lantern Corps has taken my number 3 spots. I'm just a
Whoa.
little bit more excited about it. Batman and Robin's getting number 2 because that's just fucking fantastic. And number 1 is Aquaman by far. Um, cannot rave about that book enough. But Supergirl was really well up there too. Just the fact that it's a number 1 issue, they always tend to be more interesting. Um, so I have to give GLC and Batman and Robin a bit higher placement than Supergirl right now. They all got the same score of 8.75, but that's how I got to rank it. Favorite moments might be, and there's a few. There's a few great moments this week. But for me, it might just be seeing Kilowog be a drill instructor again because I got a little
I
nostalgic. I'm
knew
gonna
it.
be honest with you. I saw
Yes.
that like this feels right.
Yep. Been a while,
Oh
buddy.
my god, it has.
Wag the wog. Get him in line.
Right? Felt so good to see that.
Hell yeah.
All right,
That's
let's
perfect.
let's talk covers.
Yes, let's talk covers.
There's quite a few good ones this week as well. That one's dynamic.
Very dynamic.
That one is powerful.
I would use the same word.
That one's interesting.
Incredible. Look at the
Yeah,
detail going
it's
all the way. Like
very
I'm
much
looking like you
detailed.
can see where I'm pointing at. All the way back in the,
Yeah,
the that's how I could point at
yeah. With your
it.
pointer. That's Pazarin for you. Pazarin is just fantastic with pencils, and
Fucking
the colors here
absolute.
alone is fantastic. So
Look at
that's
that floor.
yeah,
I mean, forget the
the
perfect highlights in
reflection,
the suit and everything. Just that
the
fucking
reflection on the
reflection in the
floor.
floor.
Yeah,
That's how you know you got real talent on your hands. That's good shit. Next up, in Kilgore's clutches.
simple to the point.
And Supergirl.
Very good,
All
but
white.
I I would not give it to this one only because it's that typical first issue that DC's been doing, where it's like a simple like single shot of the character on a white background. Like there's nothing wrong with those covers, but it's not dynamic like the other ones would be, right?
Yes. No, I didn't choose this one either. I love it. I love Supergirl. I'm a big, huge Kara fan. I think they did her justice here. I didn't choose that because they kind of drew Kara too stylistically, like two different kind of ways here in this issue.
Yeah.
You know, one in which they had. Well, I hit something wrong.
Uh,
One in which they had like the less detailed look going on, including with the hair and the face and whatnot. I think that if they would have given this a little bit more of a detailed look, less chunky, I think that that would have been a real contender. They did. They did a great job.
mhm.
So no Supergirl, and I'm not choosing Action Comics either. Through simple when there's other
I'm
such
not either,
stellar
but
things going on.
I do like the Action Comics one only for like the subtleness of Kilgore in the background.
It is done really well having the
Yeah,
blizzard blown over top of him for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it is not a contender for cover of the week. I think not with the other three we got going on.
All right, we've got Green Lantern Corps, Batman and Robin, and Aquaman.
Uh,
What
this
say you?
this one I'll also take out for me as much as I love John Tim's art, and I think
Hmm.
this one is really dynamic and cool. It also kind of falters because it's so busy at the same time. There's almost too much to look at, whereas the other two covers rather, are a lot simpler. They tell a story in those covers. Like this one is powerful,
Hmm.
right? And the logo covering Batman's face just speaks so many volumes alone with the scratch through Robin's name. It's just eh, fuck, man. It's so good. But you're right about the Green Lantern Corps cover as well. It is just so beautifully done. The light work, the shading, the coloring, the reflections, the detail. This oh my god, that's a hard choice. Like, can I pick two?
No, no,
Fuck.
no.
I honestly, and I hate myself for saying it. I think I'm going Batman and Robin.
All right, all right.
Yeah,
Why do you hate yourself for saying it?
because that Green Lantern Corps cover is so good. But I love the story being told on just this cover for Batman and Robin. How powerful that one image
That's
is just it's so fucking good.
it is. It really
Yeah.
is.
Especially
And
when you look lower down, the lower down you get on Batman, the rest is being shaded out as well. Like
hmm
his belt, it's just being shaded out. Just like all that matters is him and Robin's suit. And that's the whole point of this world right now. There's blank space behind him, shaded out beneath the waist. Everything else is just here. And just there's so much dynamic storytelling in just this one image.
it is damn good. All right, so Batman and Robin for Rob. I want to choose this,
Uh, so do
but I
it.
can't
No, it needs to be chosen.
because no, it's I want to, but I can't. The layers and richness and the layering of the color palettes and the fact that this is basically like reading a summary page of what's gone on in the arc so far. It looks so good, and I like flipped back and forth, and I found myself just staring at this one. Not any particular thoughts or going, "Oh my God, this is so good," but every time I was flipping back and forth, it was always this one that I'm sitting there staring at.
Great.
I was like, I know I like it, so that's it. That's the winner. There's something about it. I might not be able to put my finger on it or my pointer, but definitely this. The colors, the layering. There's like one, two, three, four, five different layers going on in there. That's really really neat, and all of
Yeah,
the colors are perfect. I dig it. I dig it a lot.
that's fair.
So sorry, Green Lantern. You got my number one though. You were in first place there, eh?
Yeah,
That's good, yeah.
I feel bad because that cover's so fucking good.
We can't give everything to Jeremy Adams, my man.
Why
People
not?
will start to talk.
And to be fair, we were talking about the cover, so it'd be to
Mhm.
Fernando Pasarin.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So, Pazarin away.
All right. Well, I think that is our show.
That's all of it too. Thank you everybody for watching very much. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel, and that is the show we're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.
Peace.